just got a text from my fiance saying that Route 5 is currently closed, accident southbound at Cedar Lane.
Yeah.
Oh.
I can't, sorry, I didn't hear any.
Figured
Items we have to mention. See it. But it's right where we're talking about.
You're now efficient.
Oh, it's 4:00. Open the meeting with the approval of the minutes from the May 20th meeting. Does anybody have any questions or any additions?
I'll move to approve the minutes. Meeting.
Second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Michelle.
Okay, since your last meeting, I guess we've had 2 council meetings, and at the June meeting, we had 2 public hearings for annexations. I think we talked about them the last time. One was for 3 parcels that Cedar Lane Senior Living Community had requested to annex in for them to build another new building on. And then right beside that, Alfred Manley had a parcel, 5.84 acres that he requested as well. And so we had the public hearings for those, and the council adopted the resolutions to annex those 4 properties into town. We also, let's see, then at the July meeting, I introduced the ordinance number 224, which was to amend the zoning map, which is one that you're going to make a recommendation on today, which was for those 4 parcels being annexed in and the zoning changed to the map. They're being added to the map today. That's what you're looking at. And then we renewed the sludge hauling contract for Synagro, which is a company that's been hauling the sludge. And then I gave an update on the wastewater treatment plant facility. We are now anticipating completion of that later, probably December of this year, for substantial completion. It's going well. It's just they got a slow start in the spring. Didn't have a lot of workers down here. Had some problems getting supplies, but things have ramped back up again, and it's going pretty well. So, and we just had less than 1% in change orders, so really the project is going well. We also went to closing last week on a parcel of land at the bottom at Wharf Hill, bottom of Wharf Hill. Behind the last house on the left, there was a commercial lot that has been for sale, and we purchased that for additional parking. We've also submitted a grant to Community Legacy to help build a parking lot for $250,000. We submitted that last week, or 2 weeks ago, so hopefully we can start working on that and add some additional parking down there. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Our new business today, the first thing is ordinance number 224, the amendment to the zoning map and recommendation to the town council to add recently annexed panels into the town municipal boundaries. Approval of the 2023 Maryland Department of Planning. That's the other business. Sorry.
So this is ordinance number 224. Leathertown Council on June 10, 2024 approved the resolution to annex the 3 parcels of real property owned by Cedar Lane Senior Living Center community into the town. Notifications were sent to the Maryland Department of Planning Commissioners of St. Mary's County, Tri-County Council on April 29th as required. The public hearing was advertised in the County Times on May 23rd and May 30th, as well as the town website. The property was posted and the adjacent neighbors were notified by certified mail. The parcels shown on tax map 40, grid 6, parcel 71, and then also parcel 220 and 133. The council also on June 10th approved resolution 3-24, the annexation of 19.5 acres of real property owned by Alfred S. and Joanne C. Mattingly into the town. Again, notifications were sent to the Maryland Department of Planning, Commissioner of St. Mary's County, Tri-County Council on April 29th as required, and the property was advertised in the County Times on May 23rd and the 30th as well as the town website. The property was also posted by, and adjacent neighbors were notified by certified mail. The property is located tax map 41, grid 1, parcel 195. The next step in the finalization of the annexation is to update the zoning map with the annexed properties and the properties being zoned as agreed to by the town council and commissioners of St. Mary's County. Ordinance 224 was introduced at April 8th town council meeting. Following recommendation from the planning commission, a public hearing will be held August 12th, 2024 to adopt the ordinance. So the action needed today, the planning and zoning department is requesting a favorable recommendation to town council to amend the Leonardtown zoning map to add the 4 properties into the municipal boundary. These parcels include Cedar Lane Senior Living Community as shown on tax map 40, grid 6, parcel 71, tax map 41, grid 1, parcel 220, and tax map 40, grid 6, parcel 133 as residential multifamily zoning, and 19.51 acres of real property owned by Alfred S. and Joan C. Mattingly as shown on tax map 41, grid 1, parcel 195 as institutional office. And I have included exhibits there for you, although looking at my exhibit in color, the area, the top one says area of annexation. That is not commercial office, that is actually residential mixed use. Multifamily. So I apologize for the error.
So the reason when we annex property that it goes to the county commissioners, they don't have a say whether it gets annexed or not. What they have a say in is if the zoning if it's upzoning at all by coming into the town, they have to agree to that. Otherwise, it has to come into an equal zoning that for what they have in the county for the first 5 years, it can't be changed unless the county agrees to it. And both of these properties were residential, RL, right? Limited,
Yes.
limited commercial. So the facilities that they want to build on the Cedar Lane property would have been allowed in the zoning, but technically it's 1 per acre or 5 per acre versus ours, which is 10 units per acre with multifamily. But the commissioners gave us letters on both of the Alfred Mattingly's property and Cedar Lane's property, agreeing with the institutional office on the Mattingly property and the multifamily for Cedar Lane, matching the other properties that they already have in town.
And then the Mattingly property already then matches the one that's to the east for the nursing center that was approved in IO.
Any questions, comments? Motion.
I move to recommend approval of amended zoning map by ordinance number 224 to the town council.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Now the next order is the approval of the 2023 Maryland Department of Planning annual report.
I'm assuming that you went over the document, so I don't know that I necessarily need to read the whole thing.
Is there any differences from last year?
Well, the permitting is down, probably 50%.
Yeah. Sounds difference.
We're probably gonna see that for a while, just because there's not any other
Housing.
lots really ready to go. We anticipate Tudor Hall coming forward this fall with their concept plan. Meadows is getting ready to start pulling building permits
Right.
for the townhomes that were approved in the back of the development. But really Meadows 1 and Clark's Rest are all complete
That's
now,
right.
so there's really not anyone pulling permits until Meadows gets started on the townhomes, which they are starting on the site work now, so hopefully that'll ramp back up again.
When Meadows 2 was gonna start?
So then we'll have the 74 townhouse units that are approved, so they'll have to submit site plans for that, but they're ready to go as soon as they get the infrastructure in.
I think they started 2 weeks ago, putting the infrastructure for that phase in.
And the main road has been paved, at least where it's topped and rough coat.
Yeah, saw that.
Actually, Mike and Emily and I met with Maryland Department of Planning today for a roundtable up in Prince Frederick, which was very interesting, and it's just funny, the same problems are in every jurisdiction, everybody kind of chimes in, but it was very, very helpful, and just kind of, the Secretary of Planning was there, and she's very in tune with what's going on and trying to make things easier, but, adapt to new changes, and I thought it was very informative.
Yes.
Really good.
One thing I did want to mention, so the 15, that's new permits pulled, but then you go down a little further and you say that we had 44 UNOs, so that's quite a few use and occupancy permits for the single family.
I was just gonna say, it's
They
really,
just pulled the permits before.
yeah. It's a good thing.
Anybody else have any questions, comments? Right, I make a motion to approve the 2023 Maryland Department of Planning annual report.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Did you have time to review the permits that were issued? Any questions about those?
Well, it's nice to see the last house of Flex Trust
I
being
know,
done.
I bet.
Every time I go by it every day, like, after being there for 10 years, and then I was started even before that, so,
Have you been there 10 years then? My God.
almost, actually, it'll be 9 years. It's 9 years this year, so 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. Time flies when you're having fun. When we were the only townhouse there,
Yeah,
and
right.
there was nothing around us. So,
Wow.
yes, it's nice to see the neighborhood full and active.
Anything else?
All right, I'm assuming these ones are from the back, the ones that are like Leonard's Grant, these new home, ones. That say Clark Trust Phase 4, yeah, that's what that was. There's like 4 that are in the back. They're not actually connected to Clark Trust, they're like by a road, I mean.
That's correct, that's, actually, it is Clark's Rest, but it's phase
You
4A.
have to go through
It's not-
Leonard's Grant.
It's on Water Bay.
Anybody have any other questions? And a motion for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All those in favor say aye.